What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Welcome to the RNEWS Morning Show. And let's just jump into it. From r/politics, the Trump campaign accepted Russian help to win in 2016. Case closed. Requested and accepted foreign help. That makes the entire presidency illegitimate. Seriously, this cannot stand, man. We have to UNF***K the last 4 years. Moscow Mitch, we know what you did. Mother ***Kerr. You think you're going to hide behind the orange traitor's cowering suit tent? You need to think again. Moscow Mitch was only able to do everything he did at the pleasure of the Republican-controlled Senate. Every single Republican senator is a traitor. I personally am looking forward to hearing oral arguments in the cases brought against these crooks. In 2021, solicited and accepted Russian help. Also worth remembering, the IC found Russia posing as leftist Democrats in both 2016 and 2020. www.usatoday.com www.washingtonpost.com. The IC found Russia posing as leftist Democrats in both 2016 and 2020. They're all over this stuff, whining about M4A and all sorts of other crap. And real people are buying into it just like last time. Sure, M4A is a good idea, but so is defeating freaking fascism. Play your little purity test games later. You're watching the Reddit News Show. From r/politics, Russiagate was not a hoax. The Senate Select Committee on Intelligence confirmed what the Mueller report could not. And yet nothing happened. Censure and expel the senators who obstructed this intel. Something needs to be done about the pardon power. Right, there's no way the president should be able to pardon co-conspirators. What would that look like, though? Establishing the ability of Congress to rescind a presidential pardon if it is found to involve an associate involved in a crime the president is convicted of. All pardons are off when a president is convicted of a felony. We have never convicted a president or former president of anything that is so far off the map. Right now, simply remove pardon power entirely. The president should not be allowed to wave his hand and allow people to break laws. If people are locked up due to unjust laws, then that is the job of Congress to fix, not the executives. Call me crazy, but I think Trump soliciting Russia to commit a crime against a US citizen on live TV confirmed it. I still can't believe he was able to do that and it not be the end of his campaign. A responsible, law-abiding political party would have kicked him off the ticket. Unfortunately, Republicans aren't that. It was always obvious from the moment we knew about the Trump Tower meeting. No crap, right? In what world is the son of a presidential candidate meeting with Russians months before the election not sketchy? You're watching the Reddit News Show. From r/World News, Putin opponent Alexei Navalny reportedly poisoned by toxin in his tea. Said to be in intensive care. Someone is probably going to finish the job in the hospital. I hope he makes it out alive. Oh, he'll make it out all right. We just don't know through which window yet. It depends what they poisoned him with. Litvinenko was poisoned with polonium and was essentially stuck wasting away in a hospital bed for weeks afterwards until he died. He used the time to effectively solve his own murder. I don't feel like we need to do detective work with Navalny's murder. Like, no crap, it was Putin. We know that. But can we prove it with evidence? Edit. Jesus Christ, some of the replies I've had to this comment are mental. A man very obviously got murdered in the UK and nobody was able to do jack about it, so evidence is apparently useless. It might be useful later, though it probably won't do much right now. It's about truth and the importance of being able to say with clarity this is what happened, rather than just, it seems likely it was Putin. The fact that all of Putin's opponents and critics end up assassinated and or poisoned leave no doubt who ordered it. The problem is that Putin very likely didn't order it. He didn't need to. He's surrounded himself by people who don't need to be told what to do. If Putin needed to tell someone around him to kill his political opponents, he'd have already failed and wouldn't be anywhere near as dangerous as he is. Another terrorist act by Putin's fascist regime. You're watching the Reddit News Show. From r/politics, Trump floated swapping Puerto Rico for Greenland because the people are poor and dirty in Puerto Rico, according to former DHS Chief of Staff. This one seems like it belongs in the Racism Hall of Fame. First ballot. My grandpa also occasionally makes racist remarks, but he's not president. Has he considered running? Occasional racism from an unqualified old man would be a huge improvement over what we got now. Which is why we're voting for Biden. Since 89.7% of Greenland's population in 2018 was Inuit, Trump's plan was probably to place them all on reservations and steal their land. Could you imagine being at a dinner party and someone opens their mouth and says this? Everyone would be asking who brought the racist. From Puerto Rico, ****** Donald Trump! Exclamation mark. If Puerto Rico is so awful, why the hell would Denmark want it? God, is Trump freaking terrible at deals? That's not the point. Trump was signaling to the racists that he's one of them. He's not afraid to speak his mind. Equals he says in public what we're all thinking but aren't allowed to say without consequences. Anyone else who said this would be fired. They like that he's normalizing racism. You're watching the Reddit news show. From r/politics, the Senate just dropped a massive Russia bombshell, and most people missed it. Trying to convince people he's corrupt is no longer a viable option. People are either on one side or the other. I don't think anyone is still on the fence about him and just waiting to see. Example, the bulk of my family are on the hoax brainwashed side of things. I actually did a test, and lied to them saying Trump just admitted on TV that he colluded and did several illegal acts so Clinton would lose, and that he's only in it for the money. My family's response wasn't, "You're lying," or "Show me." Oh no, their responses were, "Who cares? He needed to do what he needed to do. I do not care. He still has my vote." And my favorite response, Obama did worse and admitted to it on live TV. I can't show you the clip because he and his cronies had it scrubbed with the use of 5G. Not once did they ask for evidence or follow-up questions. They didn't even look it up. Luckily I'm several hundred miles away from them. Perhaps the most important thing here is that the Russians are doing this again. We need to watch carefully for frickery around the election and have a very low tolerance for bull crap. The most important thing here is Republicans knew this, voted against witnesses at the impeachment trial and voted to acquit. They are going to steal the election. You're watching the Reddit news show. From r/news, Los Angeles mayor shuts off power at Hollywood Hills house that hosted large parties. They cut the power. What do you mean they cut the power? How could they cut the power? Man, they're animals. Quote. Game over man. Take my upvote for just for the aliens reference. This particular house has turned into a nightclub in the hills. I don't get it why some people are not afraid of the virus. People will grow more scared about it once it actually affects them or someone they know. It'll be much too late by then though. Yeah, there's a word for those that don't give a toss about things adversely affecting others until it affects them. President of the United States? Too bad they couldn't cordon off the house with him all inside and put them under a 2-week quarantine, allow grocery delivery and let them enjoy each other's douchey company for a full 14 days. You mean MTV Real World? Kinda expected it to be Dan Bilzerian's place lol. I think he left the country after the feds investigated his scam. Which one? The Ignite crap. He used all of the investors' money on partying and buying crap and didn't turn up any profits. I always wondered what his business was and how he was living so extravagantly. Him being a scam artist makes perfect sense. And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like, and if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show and I'll see you tomorrow.